I hope you guys can see the screen now. It's visible.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, the last part of the your load balancer will complete, and then we'll switch to the last part of the network segment, which is the VPN. Okay. So yesterday we completed three load balancer type: Azure load balancer, application gateway, traffic manager, and the last part, what we have it is known as application gate. Sorry, your front door, Azure front door. Okay, the Azure front door, it's work on the concept of the Azure front door is something called CDN. And so before we get into Azure front door, we need to understand something called CDN profile. What is the CDN profile? How actually it works? And then we'll jump to Azure front door. Okay, so to understand this, let's say CDN stands for your content delivery network. Let's understand what is the problem statement first of all. Problem statement is, say you deploy some server, or you deploy some app services rather. Okay, and this app service is hosted somewhere in central US. In the US region, you hosted it. Now this app service is nothing but it's a kind of one website. Say this is www.mycloudchoice.com. Okay, something similar to that. Now this is your company public website, or at the same time it has some intranet site also, which is called my abc.com, something similar to that. Now you have a few users. The set of users are accessing, say one is accessing from US region. Okay, this user, geographical location of this user is based out to US location somewhere in the US. This user based out in somewhere in South Africa or Africa continent, say Johannesburg or Cape Town somewhere. So when he's trying to access this website, he's trying to access this website here. So of course, for him, the latency will be very minimal. In fact, almost zero. He can access this website without any latency, without any hiccup. The speed will he get it? It's kind of enormous, right? But at the same time, when he's trying to access the same application from here to here, because of the geographical location what he has, he will definitely find a kind of slowness while accessing this website, right? And for each and every time, whenever you want to access, because of the location distance, the kind of speed what US-based user will get, he will definitely not get it, right? To overcome this problem only, we have something called CDN, Content Delivery Network, okay? And now if you see the Content Delivery Network, the concept, what it says, CDN plus H. This is what it has. So what is that? Increased speed and scalability for an optimal user experience. Okay, what actually it does is offer a global solution for rapidly delivering the content. I think here it is. Yeah. Okay. Is a distributed network of server that can efficiently deliver the web content to the users. The CDN store cache content on the edge server in point of presence location that are close to end user to minimize the latency. Okay. Now here what we have it and how actually it works. Here there is something called edge server. The edge server will be there. So in this case, this edge server will be somewhere in the Africa continent. It is not necessary to be there exactly where the user's presence, but somewhere near to his continent. Okay. So that edge server. So edge server will keep information about, for instance, this is the allies user or other users. So here is a complete scenario, how actually it works, what all the S server contain, and how the communication will happen. And here, the S server across the globe, Microsoft has the S server, a kind of connectivity server. Here it is, the POP location, which is nothing but your edge server. POP location by region. So here it is what they have it. So it is in North America. These are the location. South America, Europe, Africa. Yeah. See here, these many edge servers are there. In India, we have these many edge servers. Okay. And again, they have the different partners all together. Who is the different partner in every country?
What is that? Can you scroll up? Yeah. So, no, scroll up. I saw Akamai something. What is that? Scroll down. It says Azure CDN Akamai something. Because yeah, see there, important POP city locations for Azure CDN from Akamai are not individually disclosed. What is that? The one in the blue.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the location, but these are some of the network partner channel. Like they have a specific server. Like as servers are there on this location, but at the same time they have kind of dedicated what should I say, a kind of bunches of servers in one, just like the what we have the data center. Similarly, they have the bunches of the edge servers, like cluster servers, you can say clusters as servers. So here they have the physical presence of these edge servers, where these clusters, if suppose one of the cluster gets down, they can still get the information from this north region, and under the north region these are the different you know uh, the edge cluster location server. This is what they are referring here. Under the South America, they have these many places. Europe, they have these many places. Okay. So the main
Akamai is there is a vendor like who prepare web application firewall and other networking devices.
correct. Yes. They are the vendor here. So just like what the vendor here they have it, will come to know in the VPN also they have the different vendor. In fact, Geo is also Azure vendor. Okay. And Airtel is also there, and BSNL is also partner for India. Similarly, for US, I think AI, sorry, AT&T is the partner. So like that, they have the different partners. Okay, so the bottom line of this is here, if we use the edge server here somewhere, so latency will be improved. If we use here edge server, which will be close enough with the user to user's location, So this is called something called POP server or edge location. Now the role of this edge server, user will directly connect to this server only, edge server, and edge server will in turn connect to the mains website, or the server which is hosted on, and this will keep the information in its cache. So every time whenever user is trying to access this application from this cache, the latest information given to the user. And if there is any kind of changes, so there's an interval sync happening in the backend between this main server or main web application and the edge server. And any changes which happens here will replicate back to the user. So user will not come to know that original website or the app service is hosted far away from his location, and the kind of latency, it will definitely improve drastically. Okay, so that is the use of CDN, content delivery network.
Is this applicable only for app server or for any type of servers?
Yeah, any server you deploy it.
Okay.
Any
Okay.
server, this just for example I have taken it.
Yeah, okay.
Any server,
yeah.
Any server you take it, whether it's an app server or virtual machine, and on top of it you're deploying the application, it's up to you. Now, how actually is correlate with your Azure front door load balancer? Because the front door, the backbone of the front door is your CDN. Now, if you talk about Azure front door, okay, this is the front door gateway. Now, what is this? Whether you're delivering content files or building a global apps and API, Azure Front Door can help you to deliver higher availability, lower latency, greater scale, and more secure experience to your users wherever they are. Okay, so here it is. Azure Front Door is Microsoft modern cloud content delivery network that provide the fast, reliable, and so and so. And again, it is the same thing what we discussed: global point of presence or edge server. All right, this is how actually it works. You have something called edge location, and under the edge location, you can collaborate with your Azure region, and it will be working along with your Microsoft global network. And you can also collaborate with your on-prem legacy domain controller or the hybrid environment. Why we use this? Build and operate modern internet-first architecture, intelligently secure digital states, zero trust framework, which is very much popular nowadays. By the way, anyone know what is the zero trust?
No, I don't know.
I think
Ask-
other day you were saying that you use NetApp or
Yeah,
VPN service, which is
right.
a trust one.
So zero trust, actually the concept of zero trust, I know slowly and gradually, a lot of vendors, a lot of Microsoft, uh, not only the Microsoft, across the globe, it was actually earlier also, but post pandemic, it is increasing day by day. Now, what is happening? Like suppose I'm sitting at home, if I want to connect to my office network, throughout this year, we have to connect to VPN, right? In order to enter to office network. Now that is no longer the case. If you use the zero trust medium, we are using Netscope zero trust model, right? So we do not have to connect to any VPN. It's like publisher. It works with the collaboration of the public cloud, but at the same time provide me a kind of secure network. And the concept of zero trust says you do not trust anyone. It means no matter whether you're connecting from office, you're connecting from home, you have to go for explicit, check. So zero trust, it's very popular nowadays. In fact, your entire Microsoft has the zero trust framework, which is just like this way. If I just say zero trust framework, this is So every cloud, you can see every cloud model. In fact, your CISA is also recommending. What is that? Today's organization needs secure and so and so. So this is what zero trust. Verify explicitly. Always authenticate and authorize the based on the all available data point. It means no matter your data from where it is coming. Earlier we used to say, okay, once you are in office network, you do not need to connect to VPN, right? You do not need to, and office network is quite secure network, but that is not something that this principle says you should trust. Okay. So including users, identity, location, device health, service or workload, data classification, and any sort of anomalies. Use least privileges, assume breaches. Always assume that you have a breaches in your network. Minimize the blast radius and segment access. Verify end-to-end encryption. And use analytics to get visibility, drive threats, detection, and improve defenses. This is how actually it works. It's a very big topic. I don't want to get into this. And here it is, Microsoft security and all. Take assessment, zero trust defined. This is the zero trust policy, identities, endpoint, data, apps, infrastructure, how you're going to, secure your overall infrastructure for your IT, endpoint, users, apps, infrastructure, network, data, everything. Okay. So global delivery scale using the Microsoft network. These are the things that we discussed. And then how to choose between Azure front door tiers. We have a different tiers altogether and the pricing along with this. Okay. Now, when we talk about deployment of Azure or any sort of load balancer. So if you're just new to the load balancer, you don't know anything about the load balancer and you wanted to start your journey, you wanted to say that, okay, how do I choose? How do I determine which one is going to be best for me? So for that, you have to come to the load balancer. In fact, this option itself gives you here the load balancing service is used. We spoke about application gateway, we spoke about front door, we spoke about load balancer, we spoke about traffic manager. Okay. Now, if I want to start that, okay, how actually I have to start my load balancing journey. Okay. Or if I'm not sure that, okay, which application and whether this application will be, I have to choose this load balancer with this location or this load balancing services. So if I'm not sure, this wizard can help me. Okay. I have to just give me, we have to give these many information, a kind of inputs. For instance, help me to choose. First of all, let's go through the service comparison. What all the service comparison we understood, or what all the thing that we have covered so far. So supported protocol for your application gateway is all this. Front door is this. Load balancer is this. And traffic manager is anything this. Global load balancing, only the traffic manager, what you can see. Here we have it, load balancer we have it, and front door. Application is a regional load balancing. It means you cannot go beyond the region. If you have deployed some solution or deployed the load balancing in the East US or Central India, it has to be there. Okay. Routing policy in under the application gateway is going to be round robin. Under the front door, it is going to be latency, priority, round robin, weighted, and weighted round robin. These many different routing methods we have it, just like your traffic manager, what we discussed. Load balancing is hash value. Supported environment, what all the supported environment we have it under the load balancer, Azure and non-Azure cloud and on-prem. Here also same thing. Here under the load balancer, only Azure. You cannot stretch, you cannot extend across the non-Azure cloud. Here again, traffic manager support Azure, non-Azure cloud, and on-prem. Okay, session affinity, it's there in first three. Under traffic manager, nothing. TLS offloading, first two. Security, we have something called your NSG, your web firewall, web application firewall, NSG here. Cache and comparison only with the front door. Okay, these are the high level difference. Now, if you're not sure that, okay, which one I need to select, I need to determine that, okay, this is the application gateway I want to deploy. So how do I choose it? So here you have a set question raise. Okay. Does your application use HTTP or HTTPS? If you say yes, is your application public facing? If you say yes, is your application deployed in multiple region? Okay, multiple region means across the globe. If you say no, then it says this is the best solution for you. Okay, this is the best solution. This is on what the input you had given to me. If you want to start again, no, I might have chosen the wrong option. You can start again. You can say, okay, does your application use HTTP or HTTPS? You said no. Is your application facing internet? If you say no, then the load balancer is the right solution for you. All right. Similarly, you can choose anything like, you can play around with this application. It is an internet facing. If you say yes, it's going to be multi regions. You can say yes. You want the performance acceleration? Yes. Then you want SSL or application layer? You say no. Is your application hosted on PaaS? If you say yes, so you go for front door. This is the security monitoring and reference architecture. So this is all about load balancing, how we can choose, how we can determine which load balancer we have to use it in our solution. Any questions around, guys?
No.
All right. So this load balancing we concluded. Let's jump to the last segment of our network, which is inter-site connectivity. Module number 5 under the virtual network. And what all we are going to do, we are going to discuss the VPN gateway connection, a site-to-site, point-to-site, virtual wide area network, and of course, all the information about it. So before we get into, let me draw something for you. And now we'll just quickly revise and we'll understand, right? Now suppose this is your virtual machine, okay? This virtual machine, say it's my file server hosted on East US, okay? And of course, this is you can assume that this is file server, all right? And I'm the user. And this file server has a two set of IP address, as we know, public IP and of course private IP, which is 10.1.1.10, and public IP is something like 4.9.123.3. Okay. Now, till now, whatever we have discussed, say this is my file server. Probably file server does not need the public IP. Okay. So we will be erasing this one. We will only focusing on the private IP address. Okay. This private IP address. Okay. So this user wants to connect to this file server, right, on the private IP address. So tell me, guys, what are the options we have discussed so far? If we want to connect any Azure environment with our private IP address, options we have configured or we discussed so far.
It has to be in the same region.
Sorry?
It has to be in the same network.
Network.
Yeah, same network.
Okay. All right. What else? Are you getting the point? I'm saying that I'm the end user, wanted to connect this Azure environment over the private IP address. I'll not use a public IP address. So till now, whatever we discussed, what are the solution we have implemented in order to accomplish our requirement?
What about if VPN comes under network?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, first of all, guys, let me know that what are the things that we have discussed, and then we'll come to the last part. I think I do remember that I told you that, okay, these are the three solutions. We have it if we want to connect to any Azure environment with a private IP address. We will not use the public IP. Just jog your brain. We did discuss.
Permission, like authentication, authorization.
No,
Yeah.
that we have not touched anything on the Azure AD. We did practical also, guys. Come on. We did theory and practical both.
Couldn't able to recollect. At least
You're not practicing. That means you guys not practicing.
Yeah.
We spoke about something called
Mhm.
Azure Bastion Service. Remember?
Yes.
Okay. What we did in Azure Bastion Service? We empowered the user to connect that Azure environment using the web interface, but eventually we connected through the private IP address. We didn't use the public IP. Remember, we removed the public IP from the virtual machine.
Yeah, we removed it. Yeah. That's what I remember. But I don't remember what is.
Okay, so Azure Bastion is one solution. What all other solution that we implemented?
Azure Firewall
Correct.
and
Firewall.
Zero Trust Network VPN.
So zero trust we have not implemented, so I'll not
Yeah,
cover
of course.
it.
Right.
But yeah, but it's there. And today we are going to discuss something called VPN, the traditional way, right? How we connect. So today we are going to discuss and will ensure that user can connect to the Azure environment using the VPN. Okay. Now this VPN has a two advantages. First one is, of course, Azure environment can be connected through through the on-prem environment also. Or else in other way around, if I say you have the Azure data center and you also have the on-prem data center and you wanted to connect, you want to establish the connectivity between Azure and your on-prem, then also you need to create the VPN. All right. So there are a couple of VPN solutions. Today we are going to discuss those. So on a high level, these are the three VPN solutions that we are going to discuss. First one is known as point to site, or say point to site. The point to site is one of the VPN solution. And where do we use this? When we have a very few number of users connecting to our Azure environment. Okay. For instance, you have the file server, what you can see, it is there in the East US. That is your main branch. A couple of users who are here, say for marketing team, they're trying to connect this server. They are on marketing campaign. So they are trying to connect this from different part of the world. Okay. Some of them are connecting from India, some of them are connecting from Singapore, some of them are connecting from Malaysia, and so on and so forth. So if you wanted to accomplish such connectivity for them, then you will go for point to site. Okay. Point to site. And similarly, we have something called S2S, which is called S2S, which is called site to site. The site to site, it is not only the connectivity between the end user, it's like two different data center. For instance, if this is my Azure data center and you have a couple of servers here, file server, web server, SQL server. Similarly, you have one more data center, the on-prem data center. Here we have an on-prem data center, right? Under the on-prem data center, you have same server, like some of them are Active Directory is there, okay? SQL servers are there. Linux server is there, some other Cosmos DB, some other. So this is your on-prem. This is on-prem data center. I'll remove this one. On-prem data center. This is on-prem and this is your Azure. Now, when you want to establish the connectivity between these two infrastructures, right? These two infrastructure to and fro, then you will be using something called site-to-site connectivity. Okay, site-to-site connectivity. Similarly, we also have something called express route. Express route is also being used to connect two different data centers. Okay, but here the only advantage is with the express route, all the traffic will go through the Microsoft backbone network. It will not connect to internet. For instance, for P2S and S2S, or we say point to site or site to site connectivity, whenever we wanted to establish the connectivity between these two different data centers, the medium or the packet should go through the internet public interface. Unlike this, when we use the express route, Microsoft has a different partner channel across the world. And from there, the data will travel. It will not directly connect to internet or public interface. And of course, because of that, data is more secure, safe, and it is quite expensive. So most of the time, at the organization level, company go for S2S rather than P2S. When you set up the S2S, it means you totally connected your Azure and on-prem environment. Now here also, if you have the on-prem users, say 100 user, 200 user, you have an on-prem servers, you have an on-prem application, all of them will be able to connect with your Azure. Okay, so these are the 3 VPN type that we are going to deep dive. All right, guys. So that is why it says inter-site connectivity, because we are trying to connect Azure environment with on-prem environment, or we are trying to connect, or we will be establishing connectivity with Azure environment from our user network prospect. So first of all, we'll understand the component which are going to use the VPN gateway connections. Okay, what is the VPN gateway? Why? What is the gateway subnet? What is gateway type? And of course, we will be creating the local network gateway, the VPN devices, and VPN connection as well. I just wanted to set the expectation, guys. The site-to-site connectivity, express route, these two practicals are not possible because we do not have the device. But I'll just walk you through what is that we can do it. Okay, I'll be giving you the demonstration for point to site. All right, but it's like only one option that we need to enable it. For point to site and site to site, there's only one thing that we have to configure it.
What is site to site? Okay.
That's what we will discuss, right, Moru? A site to site is like you are empowering the on-prem connectivity with the Azure data center. As you can see here, the site to site connectivity is like connect your on-prem data center to Azure network. And when you say the point to site connectivity, connect individual devices or individual user to Azure virtual network. And why do we use the VPN gateway? VPN gateway is the device, or is actually, it is, you have to use the VPN gateway to encrypt the traffic which is traveling during the transit. Okay, that is why we are using the VPN gateway. Okay, I'll do one thing, guys. VPN gateway usually take approximately 45 minutes, 35 to 45 minutes for deployment. So we will be doing a VPN gateway. I mean, let me deploy the VPN gateway. Let me also draw the picture, what all we are going to do, a kind of blueprint. So theory and practical can go hand in hand. Otherwise, we'll have to just deploy and wait for something. So what I'm trying to do, say, I'm assuming this is my Azure environment, east to west. Okay, I'm keeping one of the server. And at the same time, I'll be deploying one more client machine. Okay, one more client machine, and I'll assume that this user is located far away from this location. So I'll be keeping one server machine and one client machine. This could be Windows 10 or 11. All right. And I'll be keeping somewhere in, say, far away from east to west, say, East Asia. Okay. So these are two different reasons. And I'll see that after establishing the site-to-site connectivity, how I can connect this server site to site, sorry, point to site, not site to site, point to site, how I can connect to this server using the points to site over the private IP address. Okay, I'll not use the public IP address. By default, as you know, that East Asia is in different region and East US is in different region. So I will not be able to connect to these two different servers or machine, right? But once we establish the P2S connectivity, we'll see that how actually I should be able to connect using the VPN. Okay, we'll have to use the VPN. So this is the scenario. And during this, we have a different components that we need to deploy as part of the P2S implementation. So we are going to use that one also. The one of the component is known as VPN gateway. And the objective of the VPN gateway, the throughout, because the traffic will go through the public interface or over the internet. So throughout that transit, the role of the VPN is to encrypt and secure the packet so that anyone cannot decrypt it or cannot do any sort of hacking. All right. For that only, we will be using VPN gateway. Of course, we are going to discuss more about VPN gateway, but just giving you the heads up. And after that, we will be deploying the East-US server and client also, right? So on this, wherever you wanted to, on this server only, we will be using or we will be deploying the VPN gateway on this region only, not the server region. We will be deploying the VPN gateway and other gateway subnet. In order to deploy the VPN gateway, two things we needed. One is called gateway subnet. Another one is public IP. These two things we needed. And once you deploy it, this will take approximately 45 minutes for deployment. And the role of the VPN gateway, virtual VPN gateway, is to secure the network. Okay. That's what we are doing it. So what I'll do, I think I already have one virtual network ready. Virtual network. Yes. I have one, a virtual network for East-US2 location. And under this location only, I'm going to add one subnet, which is called gateway subnet. Okay, this is the subnet. So I can use the subnet called 192.168.1.10. 10 is reserved, so to me 2.0. This is also reserved. 22, 16, 1.3, 1.0. Okay, it has to be 1.10. This is overlapping. I think I need to create a new subnet. One 92.168.10.0/16. 00. Okay, let me take this one. We don't have both. So let me just delete and recreate. I think it's not taking this. VPN gateway, it must have created a long time back. So we will be deploying one server in the US and one server in the East Asia or in Central India, whatever. That server will not be the server. In fact, it is going to be the client machine. So one server and one client machine. Then let's go ahead and create the virtual machine. And during this time only, I'll create VPN lab, virtual machine. We'll say US server. Availability zone, no, I don't need. Standard Windows 2012. And using password. Inbound rule 338 is fine. Next is network. So here it is. It's creating and giving us the default one. Let's take this default one, and then we'll just hit on review and create. We'll just deploy the virtual machine in US region. Okay. And that would be our destination machine, right? Destination server, which we want to connect. Guys, we are not lost, right? We are still getting it. Any doubt, please ask the question. Okay. So far, what we have done we have done nothing. It is just a usual process, the usual things what we have been doing. There's nothing fancy as such. Okay. Now, post deployment of this virtual machine, we are going to use two things. Two things that we need to deploy: gateway subnet, and along with that gateway subnet, you have to use the virtual gateway. Okay, virtual gateway, and during that time you will be assigning the public to the gateway, and that process will take approximately 45 minutes. And that's why I'm little in hurry to create this, so that process, the moment it takes place 45 minutes, by that time we should be able to complete the theory as well. Usually it takes based on my experience, 30 to 40 minutes, not 45 minutes exactly, but 30 minutes, usually half an hour. Okay, so now deployment complete. Will not touch anything on this server. Okay, we'll go to the virtual network because we are talking on the virtual network. Under this, we have a subnet, and under this, we have a gateway subnet. So we will be deploying one of the gateway subnet. We'll save it as it is. Okay, so this gateway subnet, gateway subnet will be used for our virtual gateway, okay, which is here, virtual network gateway. Here, we will be using the same gateway subnet, what we just recently created. And now if you see the definition, Azure VPN gateway, connect your on-prem environment with this site-to-site or VPN and set up a remote branch offices, anything. So this is the same virtual network gateway you will be using for site-to-site, point-to-site. It is one of the same. The component will remain as it is. Only one options will change when we deploy the site-to-site. I'll let you know, guys. But this is the main prerequisite component that we need to deploy, whether you're deploying point-to-site or site-to-site. Okay, let me create the virtual network here. Okay, so name you can give anything. We can say that, okay, they're connected. Yeah, something, anything which makes sense. It has to be East US where my virtual machine is there. And then SQs are nothing, but again, the features. And we have something called VPN type root base. So this is like default, we are taking it. We'll go through all of these to understand. Okay, we have in all this detail we have in slide, we'll go through. Generation, you can choose any generation. And this is my network. And this is the subnet which we recently created. So the moment I've chosen virtual network, it has automatically taken subnet. And then we have to use the public IP for this virtual network gateway. Yes, please.
One small question. While creating the gateway subnet.
Sorry?
Sorry. Ajay, am I audible?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So while we are creating the gateway subnet, earlier, the available IPs it is not showing. The default one was there are 250 IPs available, but for the newly created one, it is saying that based on the availability or something, it is written like that.
Yeah, actually, whenever you deploy, anything, if you recall, for any new component, whether it is an Azure bastion, firewall, or a gateway, we have to create in dedicated subnet only. And that is why we are using in dedicated subnet, the gateway subnet. The name is also a kind of fix. You cannot change it. If you recall, Azure firewall also, before deploying the firewall, we created a subnet called Azure firewall. That subnet has to be the same. The name, it is just like, hard coded by Microsoft. You cannot change it. And that is the reason we are deploying this gateway subnet also. Okay. So the three components what we discussed till now, all of three components, we need to have the dedicated subnet. This subnet is, if you recall, the subnet is nothing, but it is one of the division for the virtual network. So our main virtual network is still this US server. But under that, we have two different subnet. Okay, let me show here. If you go to the virtual network, and we are into the network section, guys. So anything or everything which we are talking, it has to be on the network end. Now, if you see that subnet is what? It is a logical division of your virtual network only. So this is my default server, and I can deploy another 200 plus servers under the same subnet. And this subnet is dedicatedly for my gateway. The gateway which I am going to deploy here, this virtual network gateway. So any sort of server which are part of this default subnet, say tomorrow if I deploy the Linux server or SQL server, all of these things will be covered under one umbrella. You do not have to go and again set up this virtual network again and again, because you're doing it, you're dealing it at the network layer. So automatically this will come. Make sense? Okay.
Yes, Ajay.
Okay, so let's go and deploy this gateway. All right, and then we have to have the public address. So here we will be using any sort of public address. I'll say VPN, public address name, VIP, assignment, availability zone 1. For now, we'll disable it. We don't need. That's it. So this process will take approximately 40 minutes, guys. That's what we are just creating it. And side by side, we'll understand the theory. Okay, it seems there is a lot of confusion and questions or doubt with respect to the virtual network gateway. Let's go and understand first. Let it be deployed. We'll come back in our lab. So VPN gateway, I'll take you to the Microsoft website directly. We'll understand from there. VPN gateway, Azure. This one. So let's understand what is that. VPN gateway is a service that uses a specific type of the virtual network gateway to send encrypted traffic, guys, between your on-prem and on-prem and Azure over the public network, right? Over the public network. These two keywords you need to understand: encryption and the public network. Okay. So multiple connection can be created to the same VPN gateway. When you create a multiple connection, all the VPN tunnels share the availability gateway bandwidth, right? It's like when you create active to active or active passive, during that time also the VPN gateway comes into the play. Now, the gateway subnet. A VPN gateway is a type of virtual network gateway. And then there is something called a subnet that you create called gateway subnet. Okay, this is like dedicated for your VPN gateway services. Okay, and that is the reason you will be using this subnet dedicatedly for the VPN only.
Can you please go up, Ajay? Roll up. I just wanted to read this. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the settings that you specify when you create a virtual network is you defining is like gateway type. Gateway type determine how the virtual network gateway will be used and action that your gateway take it, right? We have the gateway types here, which we are going to discuss here itself. Here is the SKUs that I have chosen. It's like if you notice, I've chosen the VPN gateway 2 version, generation 2. And these are the SKUs. SKUs are defining the capacity caliber of your gateway. If you use the generation 1, the basic one, the speed you will get 10 Mbps. And for point to site, 128 kbps. And again, these many BGP supported or not, your border gateway protocol, and so on. Generation 1, 2, 3, you have these many different generation. So what we have chosen generation 2, or I believe this thing we have chosen. So the speed is not going to be a problem for us. So this is what you will be, depending on your requirements, we will be choosing generation 1 and generation 2, and the speed will vary accordingly. Okay, the resizing of the SKUs is allowed within the same generation. It means if you have chosen the generation 1 and you wanted to switch from, these are the generation 1, okay? If you have chosen generation 1 and you wanted to switch or upgrade from here to here, you can do it. But if you determined or you have selected generation 2 and you wanted to toggle between generation 1 and generation 2, so that is not possible. Okay. Now here, when you create the VPN gateway VMs are deployed to the gateway subnet and configured with settings. This process can take 45 minutes or more to complete, depending on the SKUs what you have selected. And that's the reason I told to let it be deployed. This process will take approximately half an hour or more than that. After you create, we'll have to configure the rest of settings. Okay. So these settings will vary. Now, these are the different set of point-to-site VPN connection. Let's understand point-to-site, what we are focusing on. So point-to-site VPN lets you to create a secure connection to your virtual network from your individual client machine, right, guys? Individual. That's what we are trying to accomplish. A P2S is establishing by starting it from the client computer. Okay, this is what you have the VPN gateway. You have the VPN gateway public IP. Here is the tunnel, and on each client, these are the VPN client of the end user. Okay, this is the structure. VPN client or address pool or the user will get one of the IP address from the address pool, and they will be connecting to the Azure environment. So the VNet peering is a different thing. And now you see that there's something called a site-to-site connectivity. Site-to-site connectivity, you have the on-prem environment here. It does not have any individual client machine. Here you have the, so only thing is what you can see here, local network at public IP address. That it's not there in your point to site, but here in on-prem or S2S, we have this. Okay. So this is the VPN gateway. Implementing, we'll have to see that. This is the gateway subnet, what we have chosen. The VPN gateway configuration, which will take approximately 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Gateway type. Now, we have a two type of gateway, root based or policy based. The latest generation what we have is root based, which is a dynamic routing protocol which support your IPE version 2. This is like policy. It used to be earlier when the Microsoft launched this in your legacy or on-prem devices. It is no longer used nowadays, but yes, if somewhere in the environment it is there, Microsoft is recommending to migrate over the root base. And these are the different SKUs. Okay, that's what we just spoke about. Now, local network gateways. This is the utmost important. This is for your site-to-site connectivity. You know, local network gateway define the on-prem network configuration. The local network gateway need a public IP. It is like, you know, a sort of device which you will get it from the network team. And from there, you need to configure the local network gateway. Let me showcase how you will configure. This is only the difference between point to site and site to site. Okay. So here it is. We have something called local network gateway. Yeah. So the VPN, once you deploy the virtual network gateway, then parallelly you need to configure this local network gateway also, which says create a local network gateway to represent the on-prem sites that you want to connect to the virtual network. This local network gateway specifies the public IP of the VPN devices and IP address range located on the on-prem sites. And this is like, you know, you can say it's a kind of gateway for your local servers or on-prem servers. From here, you will be setting up all sort of connectivity towards your Azure and vice versa. So here you will be getting, the moment you hit local network gateway, under the same resource group, wherever you created, you have to choose the same location, and this IP address, you will get it, and the range you will get it from your network. Okay, 163, whatever that. And then after that, you have to share this configuration. For example, if I say my on-prem IP address, if I give 163.8.9.90, this is the public IP I've given. Address space, say 10.1, 10.1.2.4/24. Okay, so I have to use 1.2.07. Say I've chosen this. Okay, next is advanced. You want this? No. Create, review, and create. After creating it, you have to collaborate with your virtual network gateway. Okay. Once our virtual network gateway is ready, we will be able to configure this. So once we configure, there is just some what you called JSON file, that will be there. I just recently configure for my company, so I'll show you the JSON file, how actually it will be. This will be deployment. Yeah, something similar to this. This is my deployment. I think in last Friday only I configured this. So this JSON file you need to give it to your network team, and this JSON file will have some configuration. This is the configuration. Okay. This configuration you need to give it to them, and they will be configuring it at their end. This configuration will have the password, the connectivity, the name, and all. So that is only the thing that we will be doing it for the site-to-site connectivity. The rest of other steps will remain as it is. Clear, guys? Then we also have something called.
I have one question. So for the local network gateway, we need to create the virtual virtual network also. Is that correct?
No. We don't have to create any virtual network gateway, because see, this is representing your on-prem configuration.
Yeah, local basically. Yeah.
Local. So this is nothing to do with your Azure environment. Everything, whatever you're getting it, you will be getting it from the network team. As you can see, the address space, network team will only decide and give it to you. The public IP associated with this, they will only give it to you. You have to just configure it in your environment, in your resource group where you're planning to deploy. The IP address, public IP, address space, all of these things you will get it from the network team.
Okay, so virtual gateway needs to be created on the
Virtual network
on
gateway is
Azure.
something, yes, on the Azure end.
Okay, got it.
So on
So
Azure,
any VPN we need to create. Okay, not any VPN. Like for point to site we need to create a virtual gateway on the Azure, and on premise we don't need to do anything. Whereas for the site to site we need to create additionally local
correct.
network on the on premise. Okay, got it.
This configuration represent your data center, on-prem data center. Yes. So of course you will have to get the information from there. Where it is, network. So deployment is still going on. Then we have something called high availability scenario. Active standby or active. In case, say, high availability for your on-prem and your VNet. So let's go and understand this diagram along with this KB article, what we have it. Azure or any cloud, I think in the previous also I did mention that any cloud, they keep on changing their documentation, and that's the reason in the PPT I have specified a kind of link so that we can always make sure that we are up to date. For example, if you see that this is also latest, like in the month of June. So if something they made some changes, so we can always be on the top of the information. So here it is, like, the VPN gateway, high availability cross on-prem. Like, so what does it mean? Say, if you have only one VPN gateway, okay? So if that VPN gateway goes down because of any XYZ reason, so how you're going to mitigate? And for that, we are going to deploy two VPN connection. One, you can keep it only one active. Another one will be like standby. It's like once your active one is down, then only you will bring up the stead one. then only it will standby will become active. So this is case number 1 or scenario 1. Okay. So what you need to configure, this configuration provide multiple active tunnel from the same Azure VPN gateway to your on-prem devices under the same location. And you need to create a 2 or multiple S2S connection from your VPN device. Here you need to again configure the BGP or peering address properties. And then another sort of connectivity or to deal with it, high availability, we have something called active-active. It means the traffic will divide, a kind of load balancer what we saw yesterday. The traffic will divide. It's like 50% one gateway will take, another one will take another 50%. So here you will be using this one. And dual redundancy also you can use it. Active-active for both Azure and on-prem, like this way. One is for the gateway, one is for the on-prem. So it is like all the scenarios you can think and you can configure it. And at the same time, you can mix, you can mix VPN type also, where to use site to site, or in a large organization, they might be using all of the VPN solutions. They might be using site to site, they might be using point to site, they might be using express route. So that kind of structure, this kind of network will become a virtual wide area network. We'll see that part also. This is called express route. Now, what is the express route? Here is the express route. So as per the configuration, what we understand, or the definition what we understood, it is like this is your on-prem network. Here it is your partner edge. And here you have a circuit, primary and secondary. And here is the Microsoft Edge server, and they can directly connect to any of your Microsoft applications, CRM, Office 365, any customized application. It is a private connection between your on-prem and Microsoft data center. See here, and the data will not go to your public network. Instead, it will go to the partner network, which is secure, reliable, low latency, and high-speed connectivity. So if I go with the documentation more about it, the speed can go up to gigabytes, 10 gigabytes, 1 gigabyte to 100 gigabytes also, guys. This is express route. Okay. Now here it is a custom network, partner edge, your root circuit, primary and secondary, and your application. Okay. Key benefit, what are the key benefits? Here it is. Connectivity is a layer 3 connectivity between your on-prem and network through the Microsoft Cloud. Okay, connectivity to Microsoft Cloud across all the region, in all the geopolitical regions. Dynamic routing between your by BGP, and this is the features. By default, you have redundancy. You do not have to create anything what we saw in your private S2S and your P2S. Connectivity to Microsoft Cloud Services. By default, if you're using M365, you should be able to connect without any problem. And here is the peering location. Okay, it means every country has a peering location and the partner channels. Because as we understood, in an express route, the traffic will not go to public internet or public net. So it has to go through some Microsoft authorized partner channel. So that is why we are using this Azure region. So here it is, in every region, they have the partner channel or express route location. This is under Europe. These are the locations. North America, these are the location. Asia, these are the location. India, we have these many locations. And then they also have something called partners. Yeah, service provider. Who is the service provider in which country? You see that Airtel is there in Chennai and Mumbai, AIS in Bangkok, and then Amsterdam, Chicago, Dallas, Hong Kong, Araka, and then AT&T is Chicago. AT&T Tokyo is in Japan, Bell, Canada, British Telecom, these many countries, London, Mumbai, Sydney, Washington, BSNL, these. So these are the partner channels. It means if you are choosing to configure express route, so these are the partner channels that you can include in your solution. When you connect with the Airtel or when you connect with AT&T, they will be giving you a dedicated lease line to connect to the Microsoft data center. Okay, so technically it is going with the internet, but it is like they have a dedicated network channel altogether, which is connecting to the Microsoft tunnel. So the traffic will not go to your internet everywhere. It is like on dedicated lease line, they will be connecting it. And of course, you will be having SLA and all. So you do not have to worry about the security here. So this is your express route. Okay.
Ajay, sorry.
Yes, please. Ask the question. No worries.
It might be a silly question.
No, not at all. First of all, there's no silly question at all. We are just here to gain the knowledge. Please go ahead and ask the question.
Yeah. So the Cat5 cable is same for everything, and how packets will be differentiated, whether this packet is coming from me, I chose the express gateway, and you chose the normal one. How it can be differentiated?
Okay, for now it is like the same way. If you see that on on-prem data center also, we have a lease line with the dedicated providers. Like in our company, we are using Tata. We are also using Airtel, right? The network team, if there's anything goes down, there's a lease line which is dedicatedly for your organization. So they have the different terms, condition, SLA, and of course the cost is dedicatedly for them. So when we configure side to side and P2S, we can see the data is going through the public network. But you have some dedicated channel going for and specifying for this ISP that, okay, these are my ISP, you can connect with this. So the SLA agreement and everything will be, made on that part. And Microsoft will take the complete ownership and responsibility. That anything goes wrong, they are the responsible. So the agreement, documentation prospect, and on the technical prospect also, you will come to know, when you configure it. In fact, your network team will come to know. They will be giving you dedicated one lease line. From there you can easily distinguish where my traffic is going and how actually it's going. For example, earlier, right now or nowadays, it is like very common. But earlier, just a decade ago, when you used to connect or ask your service provider, for example, I'm using here ECT. Okay. Earlier, we used to have the Tata or any broadband, and you ask them to have a dedicated public IP. So they used to charge a different cost, and they used to charge a different quote altogether to you to run the public IP. But nowadays it's quite easy to get it. Similarly, if you go for any static IP address, static public IP, again they will charge something, right? So they have the different lease line which actually connect to Microsoft partner channel. So when we connect with them, we can ask them, okay, where's the location, how the SLA is being calculated, and all this. I think SLA also we have a different here. If we see that SLA, so one is express route, and then another one is SLA is also there. So its bandwidth you can see here, it's like 100 gigabytes. So one is like, you can have the express route, and one is also like dedicatedly you can connect to express route direct. Okay. So this is also a new feature. This gives you ability to connect directly into the Microsoft global network at the peering location. This is something like, the speed you can go up to 100 gigabytes or 10 gigabytes connectivity. This is the express route direct. You have to express route direct is not available across all the regions. It is just in the last couple of years or so, Microsoft recently started. So these are the difference between these two. And direct connections, circuit size. So these all are the network concept, guys. Okay. Technical requirement. This is something that you have to have, switches and all, minimum switches, VLAN tagging, workflow. This is the workflow, SLA. Here it is the SLA, which I was talking. Online and all the years. You can download the SLA and you can you filter it out. It is not giving any filter here. So under the Azure, you should be going for the express route. That will give you the information. And this is your pricing list for direct. And here it is. If you go for route gateway, then this is your charges. Okay. If you go for direct route circuit, this is your charges. There are different circuit, local circuit, standard circuit, premium circuit. So it's all about how and what is the criticality for your application. And here it is a route direct. So the speed can go up to 100 gigabytes here between your Azure and on-prem. And this is the pricing. Unlimited data plan is also available with the Microsoft, and which is this is. So this is all about Express, guys. Yeah. And then inter-site comparison, when you have the point to site, site to site, and express route. In what circumstances, what all the VPN type that you should be using it. If you're talking about point to site, what all the supported reasons it support your virtual machine, infrastructure as a service, bandwidth you can go up to depending on the SKUs. It support your active passive, and typical use case is dev environment, test environment, lab environment, or the cloud service. Then virtual network, site to site. These are the site to site supported, starting from your 1 gigabytes, and typical use case is this. Express route, these many express route. And here, where to use when you have the mission critical workload and enterprise level when you wanted to use this. For that purpose, you will be using express route. Let's see where we are in terms of configuration. Okay, so deployment complete. Let's complete the theory and then we'll jump to the practical session. Now, virtual wide area network. Now, virtual wide area network is what? A company which wanted to use everything. Their company or their users are located across the world, and the requirement is to bring everything together, which says site to site, point to site, and express route. So when you are bringing that connection on the table, or you wanted to implement this kind of infrastructure in place, that is called the virtual wide area network. Okay, where you will be integrating using kind of hub and spoke connectivity model. And here there are two kind of tiers what we have it, basic and standard. As you can see in the diagram, we have a different VNet, which are connecting to site-to-site VPN. All right, and this is how at the same time, the branch offices, in this case, branch offices are connecting to site-to-site VPN, and your head office is connecting to Express route. At the same time, you have some remote users, which are connecting using the point-to-site VPN. Okay, so it's creating a kind of mesh, and this mesh is nothing but your virtual wide area network. Okay, more about this you can see here.
It's creating a mesh or mess.
Yeah, mesh, right. See here, it's like a kind of connectivity. It's like ring topology, you can say, what we used to study earlier, right, in the class. Here you have an express route, each kind of VPN type that you're using it here, whether it is express route or side to side, because you have the requirement for all. So when you need this kind of solution, then you will be using this kind of things. And this is again not available across all the regions. Here are the supported regions and the locations. And for this, what all you need to do, you need to connect to the virtual wide area network hub. You need network hub to hub connection. And these are the two different types. A basic, it means it will only support your site to site VPN. But if you go for a standard, you can bring everything inside: express route, P2S, VPN, virtual hub, Azure firewall, and any other things. This is what it says. You can upgrade basic to standard, but you can't revert. Okay. So everything will be connected in one single place, which is called standard virtual wide area network. So every sort of solution, depending on what organization is looking for, Microsoft has it. Okay, they will be giving you all sort of connectivity channel. It depends on you how you're going to select. Now these are the partner and location for the virtual wide area network. Partner with your integrated hub. Barracuda network is there. Cisco SD, VMware SD, Versa network, and Aruba. These are the partner channels. And then again, the partner channel for Checkpoint. And here is the IPsec connectivity partners. So these all are the, Palo Alto, Silver Peak, Versa, Cisco. These all are the, network major players. They have all the devices in network and availability reasons. These are the available reason where you can establish virtual wide area network. Australia, these many locations. Europe, these many locations. Asia, here. India, all three locations. Japan, here. So you see, only these locations are supported as of now. And for national cloud, China East, China North, and US government. These many things where you can configure the wide area network. Okay, guys. So now the lab is ready. Let's go ahead and complete the rest of the practical. Okay, so till now where we are, we have just deployed the virtual machine, and this virtual machine is in East2West running on. We have deployed the virtual network gateway and along with the subnet. So we are all set here. So this is the virtual network gateway configuration, which we configure here. Right, here it is. This is the public IP configuration. As of now, nothing. It's like active mode is disabled, and here it is point to site that we need to configure. Now, if we go back to this, we have configured one part. The client part is still need to be configured, right? So we will be deploying one client machine. which could be in East Asia or in Central India. So let's create one more virtual machine. It could be into the same resource group or it could be in a different resource group. So let's make it isolated and create a new resource group. Easy. VP lab 2. Okay. And here we are saying client machine. So in fact, we are giving a kind of flavor. We are just trying to, create a hypothetical environment, stating that the client is located far away from my US region, or the client is trying to connect my Azure data center. So I'm giving the region, say somewhere in Southeast Asia. Okay. Availability zone, no, I just do not need anything. I just need the client machine. So I'm saying that, okay, the pro version, I have this client machine Windows 11 I've chosen. This is the configuration I've chosen, and username and password. Inbound rule, I need this. I'll confirm this part. Next is this network. I'll go ahead with this review and create. Still taking time, guys. Let's wait for some more time. Okay, so let's go here. So our agenda is now, and the intention is from this client machine, I should be able to connect to this server using the private IP address. Okay, so for now, if I connect to this client machine, Okay, click next. Accept all. So my Windows 11 is ready. Now, if I try to connect, now let's see what happens. My virtual machine, which is there in in the US, East to West 2. If I try to connect, I'm not bothering about the public IP because which I do not want. I have to connect to this virtual machine or this private IP, right? So if I ping here, oh, it is happening because of the same stuff what we did. We use the same network, it seems. Private IP is matching. Here also it is matching things. This is why it is happening. What we need to do, we have to create a new virtual network. It's going to be again 1 minute. Let's deploy a new virtual machine in a different virtual network. Otherwise, remember in one of the VNet practical, it created a problem for us. We'll deploy the virtual network first and then a different series, 192 series, and then we'll place the virtual machine into the same. Okay, so still running. Why? Delete it, right? Yes, now it's gone. Okay, so we'll go to the virtual machine again and create virtual machine, not virtual machine, virtual network. So under the client machine here, now delete this client machine and delete everything. We'll create a new virtual network and then delete everything from the client. Okay, now it's done. Now let's delete. Okay, this is also going to create. Stop distance. Okay, I'm creating a new VNet for Windows 10. Next, IP address, I'm going to change it to 192.168.0.0/24. Okay, this is the something that I wanted to, and remove this one and submit here. Starting address 1. Default name, I'm going to say client and add it. Proceed with 192 series. Okay, now go to resource. Here, I'm going to deploy the virtual machine now. I'm going ahead with Windows 10 this time. Pro. Inbound rule, I'm keeping 3386. Confirm I have this one. Network, I want that network, not this one. This one I want, which has 182 series, and offset. You can ask the question, guys, if you have any. How many of us have taken the breakfast, tea, coffee, anything, guys, on a lighter note? Of course, Moru is about to sleep.
Uh, I haven't taken
Okay.
just a water.
Moru, you had taken away your dinner?
Yeah, dinner is, yeah. It's 12 o'clock now.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it is too late then for you. Okay, I think state deployment completed. Have to refresh some time. So Windows 10 is running in Southeast Asia. We'll connect here. This is Windows 10 now. And I'll go to the command prompt. Ping 10.0.0.4. This was the IP. Let's verify. Virtual machine, US server, private IP. Yeah, 10.0.0.4. This is the one, right? And if I want to take connection from here to 10.0.0.4, so I'll not be able to take it. Okay. So we are talking the private IP address right now. We are not entertaining any public IP. So what we have to do it in order to set up the P2S. So first of all, in order to set up the P2S, point to site connectivity, we need to generate the self-signed certificate, at least for our lab. In a prod environment, you need to generate certificates, which is called self-signed certificate. You can generate it and then you can get it certificate, SSL certificate, a SAN certificate, or wildcard certificate. I think it support both. You have to go for the third parties like GoDaddy, you can get it, or any SSL certificate, any SSL vendor, you can get it. Okay. But for this lab, what we will be doing it, we will be using the two certificate. One is root certificate and one is client certificate. Let me show you where are these certificates. Under the certificates, my user, yeah. So this is my current user. Under personals, you see that there is no certificate. Okay. So for the lab purpose, we will be generating the certificate. And for generating the certificate, there is a PowerShell command. I'll use that PowerShell ISC. There are two set of certificates that we need to generate. One is public certificate or root certificate, we say. Another one is a client certificate. Okay, so I'm going to generate something called root certificate. First of all, root certificate. And this root certificate only, I'm going to use it for configuring with my Azure. Okay. So to generate the root certificate, I'll have to go to the PowerShell command. There's a command called P2S VPN. It's there in the Microsoft documentation only. Certificate. I think it's here or here. Yes. For the point to site certificate, we need to have this certificate. One is self-signed root certificate, which is this one. Okay. So we'll just copy this PowerShell command as it is. We'll come here and paste it over here. Run this command. This will generate a root certificate for us. Okay. And how do we verify? You come here under personal, refresh it, under certificate, you have the root certificate now. This is my root certificate. Okay. Similarly, we need to generate something called client certificate. So here it is, client certificate. Copy the same in the PowerShell command and in the new window, type here, generate all. So this will generate a client certificate. So we need the client certificate. Why do we need two certificates? Because the child certificate, it is a certificate which you will be distributing among all the users. This certificate has to be there for all the users who want to connect to my Azure environment. Okay, this work as a like child certificate is nothing but your kind of key to open the door. And the root certificate is your public keys. So it works on the public and private combination, guys. So root certificate, we are yet to configure in our Azure environment. Okay, so how do we configure? So this is my root certificate. We need to export the keys from here. All tasks, export, new, and you do not need the private keys for now. And then base 64, this certificate, base 64, you'll select. And here, just give me 1 minute, guys. I'm getting my tea. Just allow me. Yesterday it was full rain here, so getting little headache. Okay, coming back to our point, yes. So we exported the root certificate, and we need to give some name. We can say root cert, and the type has to be .cer. Save this. Next, finish. So this export is successful. It is there on the desktop. This is the one. Now we will be opening this with the notepad. Okay. And the key is what we have it here. This key, before begin and end, copy everything. Then come to here, configure the site. You know, we have to open the virtual network gateway and configure this address pool. Now, this is the pool. When the client connect to our VPN, we have to give one unique IP address. Remember, whenever we connect any VPN, we'll get some, address 172 or, some custom address. So I'm saying 160, 172, 168.0.0/24. Okay. So from this pool, one of the IP will be assigned to my client, whoever wants to connect to this VPN. Okay. Tunnel type is going to be this one for me. This is the tunnel type which support. Authentication, we have 3 options: Azure certificate, Radius authentication, and Azure AD. Since we are doing the certificates based authentication, we'll use Azure certificates. And here we'll give the name Azure VPN, something, and the certificate which we copied from here. Let's copy again. It has to be under the begin certificate and end certificate. You do not need to copy everything, guys, and paste it over here. Because in AWS, when you configure, we have to copy everything. And that's what I'm saying. We do not have to copy in Azure. Okay. Clear, guys? Any questions?
No, for me.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So I'll save this configuration now. Okay. I'll save it. The moment I save this configuration, it will take approximately 2 to 5 minutes more. And then this VPN, download VPN client, will be enabled for us. We have to download this VPN client, and then we need to install these to all the client machine. So on the client end, there are 2 requirements. One is the certificate, client certificate, and another one is this VPN software. Once this user has all this information, they will be able to connect to US server. Let's wait for 2 to 4 minutes more, guys. And then we should be able to see that. Okay, so now we can see that this button has been enabled for us. Let's download this VPN client. It is not downloaded. Downloaded or not? Let's put in the downloaded option. This is the one. Yeah, I think it's downloaded. Okay, so I'll copy this downloaded folder, which is here. Copy everything, and I'll take inside my client machine, which is here. I'll go to C drive, extract all of these certificates here. I'll say VPN software. And extract everything. Now, since it is my Windows 64, I'll go here, and this is my VPN client. Install this VPN client.
AMD 64 or Intel one?
Yeah, it's just 64. AMD is, just for the namesake, but the
What are the others?
structures are 32-bit and 64-bit. Okay, others are like 64-bit.
Okay.
Sorry, 32-bit.
32-bit.
This is 32-bit, and this is what we have it 64-bit.
Okay.
Okay, so it work now. We'll go to the network settings here. The VPN got installed. Certificate is already there. We'll go to the VPN here, and this is the VPN which we configure, right? Right click and connect. So now we are trying to connect to Azure VPN. Let's see that. Connect. And we are connected. The VPN has been connected. Now, if you go and verify under the connection, here, allocated IP address. Here we should be getting IP address, but we are not getting, just taking time. But if we come to the client machine, go to CMD, check IP config/all. See, we have this P2C site. This is point to point. And the IP address which we get it from the pool, right? Which we configure here. This is the pool. From here, it is one of the IP address assigned to this client machine. Okay. Now, if I try to take RDP for the US server, okay, which is 10.0.0.4. So I am able to connect. So if I know the credentials, yes, I know that credentials for that Windows server. I'm connecting the Windows server, which is located in East US 2 from my client machine over the private IP address space.
In Office also we do in a similar setup, or
I'll tell you. Let's complete this. And here it is. We are getting the prompt for US server. Let's try it. So from East Asia client machine, I'm connecting to the US server, which is there in a different region altogether. And I'm in to the server. And if you see that, this is my server configuration and server information. Still loading. Yeah, this is US server, Windows 2019 server, total disk and other informations. Okay, yeah. Tell me what was the question, RK or Monu? Not sure.
yeah, my question was in the office, so we client will give us VPN to connect, right? Everyone has I work for some one
Okay,
client, and
so to clarify your question, you tell me, guys. If suppose I give you in the client machine, what are the two requirements we spoke? One is certificate, the client certificate, right? And second one is the VPN software. These two you need it to connect to this server, right? To connect to the server. Now tell me, if I give you these two things right away to you guys, will you guys able to connect from your personal laptop to my US Azure data center?
credentials.
Of course, credentials are give you later. I can give you a local account. I can grant you the local account.
Okay.
Okay, it's not something that I have something. So of course I can share the credentials, but that is something different. You tell me from the connectivity prospect, if I give you these two things, will you guys able to connect from your personal laptop right now? From there, you're connecting to this Zoom call. Will you able to do?
No, I feel we can do.
No, I don't think so. That is over the so you are connecting from your client, which is acting as a
If yes,
no.
why yes? If no, clarify and justify your answer, guys. That will also give you the concrete theoretical part or theoretical knowledge of this. If you understood the concept, and that will also help you to answer your questions by yourself, RK.
Right.
So how many of us are saying no?
I am saying no.
Okay.
I said yes.
So if you're saying no, why it is not possible? And in the meantime, if you guys have time, anyone wants to try, the answer is yes. You should be able to create and connect to this Azure, and you should be able to connect. If you have these two information with you right away, if you are connecting and you want to try, you can try it. The reason being is, I'm seeing no reason why you will not be able to connect. This is how the VPN is getting set up. Because in the client certificate, you have the key to open the public key, what Azure
Right.
will.
Right. Correct.
So you have the key and you have the software with you. So you should be able to connect. If you want to try it. I'll give you the client certificate, which is here with me. This is the client certificate. I need to just export it and give it to you. This is the client certificate. Anyone wants to try? Please let me know.
Yeah, let's share.
Yes, please. This is the client certificate. And this is the client certificate. And this is the software, the VPN software, which is here. So let me zip both VPN software along with this client certificate might not go. So I'll rename it. Okay. To cert to TXT file, you have to rename back to TXT to CERT. Okay.
Right.
Uh-oh.
No, .txt.
Yes. No, actually have to enable the hidden extensions. And now rename to cert.txt. Okay. I rename it. And this client certificate here, the VPN certificate. And this software, I'll say that VPN software, VPN software. Okay, and I'll give here and this also, and I'll zip this software compress. Okay, so this zip has client certificate and the software. Okay, I'll send it over the email. What is the size? It's hardly 300. It can be sent out.
It can be sent it via Zoom. No? Sharing.
Can
Sure.
sure can be shared. Let me see. No. Sure. I think we can, but I'm not pretty much sure. I'll send it through the mail. Okay. 1 minute. To everyone. Can you guys send me your email address, please, on the chat window? I'll send it to everyone, and I'll keep this system or at least lab open for another half an hour. Okay, or maximum 1 hour. If you guys trying, I'm sending right away. Let me paste this VPN software, and attach this from the desktop. So, software. Anyone would like to check? Okay, Muru, and I'm sending it through my Gmail address. VPN soft recipient one is Rajay, another one is RK. RK, you based out in Hyderabad?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Where in Hyderabad?
Nizampet.
Okay. And the company you work for?
Signity Technologies.
Sorry?
Signity Technologies.
Okay. It says blocked for a security reason. Let's see whether you're getting it. So from here, I'm not able to. Let me send from Outlook. I had been to Hyderabad for almost 1 year or close to 1 year.
Where you used to stay?
Madhapur.
Okay.
My company was there in High Tech City.
Okay.
It's not working. Oh, Gmail is not working. Outlook. Let me try.
It's a zip file, right?
Yeah, I
Why
did, but
not?
still it is not allowing. I already zipped it. So let me attach again.
I don't have already renamed that as that to text.
Yeah, I already renamed it, but still. Yeah. Chat to and Yahoo Rajesh 17. I'm sending it. I sent guys from my Outlook account. Please check whether you guys have received or not. This is my email address from where I sent. Array. Again, it is deliver. I got delivery failure message. It says Google is rejecting. It was blocked because of the content it's present.
Yeah, it is reading everything.
You, I think you have not received RK, but Muru, I think you received. Do you have any Outlook account, RK?
No, I haven't created.
Yahoo, other than Gmail?
No,
Other than Gmail, you don't have?
no.
Oh, Muru, have you received? Or you have not received any kind of NDR? Okay, I'll do one thing. Let me share in my OneDrive if I can. And I can give you the link.
I got it. It's in the spam folder though, but yeah, but I got it.
You got it right. OneDrive. Let me just quickly create. Hmm. Okay, I'm sharing over the OneDrive. RK. Check you received if you received now. I shared over the OneDrive. RK. And more or less, Muru and Saswat, if you guys okay, you can disconnect. If you want to be here, it's fine. We are just doing the testing, and the class is almost over. Muru, for you, because it's already too late for you, you can disconnect if you want. You can be there if you still wanted to see RK if he wanted to establish the connectivity. Or Saswat, if you want, you can also connect from your local system. I'll keep
Yeah.
lab open for another 1 hour, guys, if you wanted to try. If not, then this will be deleted.
Okay, I will leave. I will see you guys next week.
No, no problems. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. RK, you back? RK, you back? Or still you're going to take time?
So I have shared my Outlook account. You can see.
Sorry?
I have shared my Outlook account in the chat.
Saraswati, your voice is pretty low.
Hello.
Yeah, Saraswati, you're speaking, but not able to hear properly. Okay, Outlook. Okay, you have the Outlook account. Fine. I'm forwarding this to you. Saraswat, I sent to you as well. So we have completed the network segment, guys. From tomorrow, next week onwards, we will be focusing on storage, Azure AD, and security, automation, and all. So I think in another 2 to 3 weeks maximum, we should be able to wrap up the course. So guys, we'll do one thing, we'll disconnect and you guys get time. So what you have to do it, Saswat, you there in front of system? Okay, your mic is not working. Oh, I got. But I sent a mail. I don't know to whom it went. I have not received any NDR. You will not receive, Saswat? You received or not? No. Give me your correct email address. I don't know to whom it went then. What is the email address, Saswat? Please type it again. Okay, I Outlook you have given. Okay, even I was thinking initially, what is that? All right, 1 minute, let me forward. And you're using Windows machine? Okay. I'm sending you the file again. VPN software. Forward. Check if you have received now. You should be receiving in a moment. Guys, please be quick to test it. I think you have the certificate, you have the software. Okay. So what you need to do, install this certificate, rename to the cert, CERT file from your txt file. It should, visible as a cert file at your end. Install it in your root directory. Double click and it will be installed automatically. And then install and run this software also. Windows 64-bit software that you need to run. And then you will be getting the Azure VPN the way I showcased. And from there, you should be able to connect to Azure environment. Any questions? I'm right here for another 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and then even I have to leave. So please be quick to do this exercise, guys. I'm here only. Keeping myself mute for some time, but you can ping or call me here.
My Windows is saying that my Defender is saying that it is unrecognized app and run it at your own risk.
Yeah, let's carry on, no problem.
I renamed and
What, RK? Sorry?
I renamed the cert.
Sorry, what?
I renamed the cert
Yeah.
and installed the app.
The certificate also need to you need to install on your root directory.
Just double clicking only, right? Okay.
Yeah. Double click and it will install in your
Yeah.
my user account under the root directory.
Okay, that is successful. Then go to VPN settings. Huh?
VPN setting. If you want, you can share his screen, RK. Let's do it quickly.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Let me know when you are able to see.
Can you show me the certificate which you installed? I can see your screen now. Can you go to MMC? Just right click on the run. Go to MMC. Yeah.
MMC.
Yes. Enter. Check the certificate. Add the certificate from the top. Yeah. A file. Go to file on the top. Add, remove, snapping. Certificates. The third one. Just click OK. Nothing else. Okay. My user account. Finish. Click OK. Current user. Personal certificates. No, it's not come here yet. It has to come here. Can you again double click? Open. Install certificate. Current user, fine, yeah. Automatically, yeah.
Select the solution. Okay.
Finish. Okay.
This was it came earlier also.
Go here. Refresh once. Go to trusted root certificates. Check that certificate is installed here.
One name is only certificate, right?
I think, what is the name? C something.
Client certificate or something.
Client certificate here. Client cert, yeah. It's not showing. Okay, let's try to connect. Let's see that. If it is not, we'll be manually adding it. Do not close this window, okay? Just minimize it.
Okay.
And the software you install, right?
Yes.
Yeah, go to network adapter now. Networks settings. Yeah, network and sharing, that one. No, not here. Actually, you are using Windows 11, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. View network connection. Not here, in fact, here. Let me see where actually this is. Go to advanced somewhere if you see that. Go to control panel or advanced network. Go to network settings. Yeah, advanced network settings. Yes. Yes. VPN setting. Or yeah. Now add VPN on the right hand side. Add VPN. No, it has not come yet. Cancel. Allow VPN. Where it is. Network and connection. Yeah, rerun it. Rerun this software again.
Yeah.
You have to run it. Yeah, run anyway. Yes. Was it not installed earlier?
I think I clicked on don't run, thinking that
Okay. Then now go to the network settings again. Yeah, here it is. Connect anyhow. Connect. Yeah. Do not show this message and connect. That's fine. It's a DLL.
CM route.
Continue.
Not found. Certificate could not be found.
Authentication protocol error. Yeah, it means the certificate is not found. Wait for some time. Let's try to connect. Hit on connect.
No, we are not able to see that certificate in.
Oh, okay. The certificate was not installed. Okay, go back again. Manually try to export the certificate. Cancel it. Go to the personal set under certificates.
Mhm.
And the MMC go again. Under the personal certificates, right click on the certificate folder. Import. There should be some all tasks. Import will be there. Import, yes. Give the path for the certificate, client certificate. Yes, client set. Okay. Next. Yeah. Next. Finish. Okay. Now you got it. Okay.
Yes.
This certificate. Right. Now try to connect. Cancel it. Disable and again try.
Disable.
No, just give it a try. Hmm. There's some problem with the authentication. Certificate has not placed properly. Cancel it and close. Rerun this software again.
Okay.
Just right click rerun. Anything is blocking. Is this your personal laptop or official laptop?
Personal one.
Yes, install yours. Okay, try to connect now.
Let me close and.
Yes. No, do not close. Probably we need to cancel it. We need to do one thing before you go to trusted root certificate authority also. Yeah, down there. Export that certificate here also. Right click, export. I think here also it's missing.
Import, right?
Yes, import. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see whether it is listed out now. Client certificate.
Refresh.
Uh,
No refresh. Huh?
No, just click any. Now you refresh. It's not exporting, right? Importing.
Yeah, it's not. P. P. PT.
P2.
Yeah, it has come.
Okay. Okay, now just give it a try now.
Shall I close this? And
Yes. You can close it.
so that it will save settings. Right?
It's fine. You can close it. It's just certificate.
Save console settings.
No problem. You save it. No worries. Save it or cancel it.
Okay. Yeah.
Still something is blocking. Extensible authentication protocol 798. Let me see what is that certificate where it is missing. Yeah, we have to current be installed.
Was installed to any others?
Sorry?
It was able to any
Yeah,
other
was
can see.
able to because it's a self-signed certificate. Only doubt I'm suspecting you are using the higher version, and I've generated the self-signed certificate in 10, Windows 10. Only I doubt. Otherwise, with the KB article, I can see it is already into the same certificate. I mean, there has to be this certificate has to be in two places. One is under personal directory, one is under trusted root certificate.
Okay.
So it's already there. Just give a try. This KB article I'm sharing with you in the chat window. Did you receive?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
this
opened
is
it.
the one. Just follow this. This is the one that we are getting that. Otherwise, all set.
Personal certificates. I kept under documents.
No, you kept it under personal only. Personal certificate only.
No. I kept
No, not here. Hey, this is not nothing to do. I mean, in
while
MMC it is
installation.
saying. Yeah, in MMC it is saying.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay, I need to go, buddy. You just update WhatsApp, okay? If there's any error message, just give it try this. If not, we'll try to troubleshoot on some free time. Okay?
Sure. And thank you for time, Ajay. And small request.
Sure.
So
Please.
next weekend, are we going to have sessions?
Yeah, we are going to have it. What happened?
Like next weekend,